Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're in the world. Welcome to the Armory. Welcome to X as well. Let's just get the StreamYard's having a nightmare today, I'll be honest. There we go. Nothing seems to be working, wants to work when it wants to work. Hopefully my pod brother will be joining me. He was backstage. He's no longer backstage now. So hopefully he will be joining me in. Big up to Tammy. So what we're winning this season, I'll be honest, mate. I'm not very hopeful at the moment, I'll be honest. Yeah. You'll see how down I'll get when we talk about these the transfers. It's not been pretty, let's be honest. It's not been pretty. Evening to you, Tammy. And yeah, I know how much you love the intro, but thank you for tuning in, mate. Obviously, won't be a proper big show for like 2 weeks now, nearly 2 weeks. When we got the North London Derby to preview. So now you'll tell us about Marino and Callum Haldini's German roots. No, I will be talking about it. I will be telling you who it was. I will also be telling you about the other Germans that we're interested in as well. It wasn't just one mystery German. It was quite annoying that that was put out there because there was more than one German. So yeah, here's Brenny. I've been trying to wait so Brenny can join me because I don't want to do this alone, if I'm honest. This is not going to be a fun stream. Currently, he's on the white screen. There he is. Look at the handsome man. Isn't he lovely? Oh, there he is. Here he is. Hello, mate.
Good day.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah. Everybody, it's the new season, isn't it? When your broadband goes down, it's been behaving for most of the summer. And then September comes along. It's like, oh, you know what? We're going to do this again. We're going to mess things up. We're going to screw it up. And when I speak to
fair,
this...
To be fair, the weather up here has been atrocious. It has knocked the broadband out quite a few times today. It's flooded down my street. It's horrendous. It's horrendous today. So hopefully there's a bit more weather. And
it's muggy. It's muggy here.
Yeah. I need it to like properly storm and bring the cold weather in because I've got the fan on. It's been bucketing outside, but I've still got the fan because I'm still hot in the house. But how are you, Brenny?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. I was off today, just been catching up with football from the weekend and a bit of tennis, really. You know. And
is Draper playing? Is he playing later?
Yeah, he's playing now. He's playing now.
Oh, is he playing now? Okay.
He's cruising. He's 4 games away from victory.
I only literally know his name. I know nothing about tennis nowadays. I'm old school tennis, not any new school anymore. I haven't got a clue, Zoo. I'm sorry, but Zinni or Timber has to play midfield at North London Derby. Can't have 2 dinosaurs, Grand Party and Shawsheen Holt in the midfield against Spurs. I'm with you on the Timber one. I'll be honest. I'm with you with the Timber one. I think he is the perfect one to slot in. As much as I love Zinni, I think Timber just has that more defensive qualities for me. That
he's got the engine as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the engine.
Temmie's happy to see you as well. Look at that.
Temmy.
Right. We all know what this is about. I wanted this show out the way because I'm not looking forward to it because this did not go according to plan at all. I will state very clearly this is mainly to do with a lot of the European clubs and a lot of the European leagues were prepared for £2 billion to be pumped into the market, and it never was because for some reason they just didn't want to spend the money. So they're spending it today, which annoys me. I don't know if you've noticed, but they've been spending loads today. It's weird. But they've been spying mainly Brazilians this summer, which has been really odd. I have to be honest. Good for them, great quality, but I find it very strange that's the way they've decided to go down. Obviously, if you just talk about the English league, obviously Jesus was well linked with them. The bid never came in. Thomas Partey. Then you look at Allison as well. He turned them down. Edison turned them down. De Bruyne turned them down. So they were really struggling to pump the money into the market, which obviously had a knock-on effect to every single club, including us. Now, we were 2 short at the end of that. Tottenham were 3. Liverpool were 2. Man United were 2. Chelsea probably at about 1 million. It's just... It was just a horrendous market in the end, and it was just didn't go according to plan. We didn't get the 2 targets, the main targets that we wanted. We didn't get through the line. Timber for me in the engine. Big up to Dave R. 100%. I agree. Yeah, we'll obviously talk about that next week. Obviously, we are friends with a Tottenham channel. Yes, we are friends with them. So there will be a couple of shows, I'm sure, next week where we will discuss the North London derby, probably in a nicer way than we did the last time we went onto their channel, hopefully, because they didn't like my answer.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Oh,
but at the end of the day, they're still not rivals to me. I don't care what they did at the weekend. I don't care that they lost. I don't give a monkey's butt because they're not rivals, because they don't mean anything to me. They're not Liverpool and Man City are my 2 rivals right now.
Yeah,
what about you?
Exactly. No, you're right. And Man United, same thing. Manchester United back in the day. If when it was
back in the day,
but
it changes for me.
And for me, and back in the day it was them. If Tottenham were on that level where they were finishing second or they won the odd league title here, there, and they were always there and thereabouts, and I'd say, they are rivals. But they're just our North London neighbours. They're just our North London neighbours.
There are noisy ones. They're the ones that you just want to keep ringing the police out, saying that they're having late night parties.
Exactly.
They're just that annoying neighbour. That's all they are. Big up to Akpos, who's in the house. Big up to Akpos. Hope you're doing well. Mourinho's situation further reinforces my belief Arsenal are a CIA project designed to see how much emotional pain a man can take. No other way to explain these many unfortunate happenings. Yeah, honestly, it's just pure bad luck, isn't it? He literally goes into his first training session, has a clash with Gabriel, fractures his shoulder. Yeah, it's just typical, isn't it? Just typical our luck. He's out for 8 weeks. He's going to miss 6 to 7 games. It's just one of those, isn't it? I will get into it's so frustrating, especially when once you get through this, you're going to get more frustrated. I'll be honest. I'm not going to be pleasing anybody in this stream. It's only going to get worse because there's a lot of players that we chose not to go and get, which were literally offered to us on a plate. Even agreed deals with them as well. The player just decided not to go further with them. So there's going to be some frustrating facts in this stream. So I do apologise, but the facts are the facts. But yes, what do you make of the Marino situation?
Well, I think it's very unfortunate. I was looking forward to seeing him because he would have been eligible if been in the squad on Saturday gone. So I was looking forward to that. And what you want to see is with signings like him, I think he'll do very well for us. But it's a shame he's injured right now because I always find that when you get players that are injured, what's worrying is not so much how long that player is going to be out for. You actually worry about who's currently in the 11 now, or who's on the bench. Especially then where you think there's going to be that complacency because that player's injured. Oh yeah, he's injured in my position, So, you know what? I'll if I don't perform well, I'm sure the boss is going to pick me next week because such and such is injured. So that you don't want that because you want everyone to be fit because you want everyone to be competitive with each other, and that's the only way they will get competitive with each other. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame, but it's at least it's not a Timber thing where
it's literally going to be the whole season. It's just a big chunk of it, unfortunately. But it is what it is. These things happen. And then obviously Declan Rice getting sent off as well obviously hasn't helped the situation as well. So it is what it is. I will talk about the Declan Rice situation in a minute because me and Brenny are old enough to talk about this in a sensible way, unlike other people that seem to be just saying that we are just victims all the time. If Isak is one of those players, Bobby, I will literally combust. Don't worry, but I will have to talk about him. But he wasn't one of those players that we had agreed to deal with. But I do need to talk about Isak at the end. Right, so Declan Rice, very talk. Before we get into the transfers, it was a red card. Even Declan Rice has come out and said he deserved it, right? So what I don't get is why the fans are coming out and going, "Oh, look at us." I remember, and I was a kid at the time, the refs always had it in for Arsenal. They've always had it. So what we've always done is don't give them a reason to red card us. Declan Rice gave him a reason to give him a red card. That's the problem. If he hadn't have done that, he wouldn't have got a red card, would he? That's just it's the way Arsenal way. It's always been the way. It's been like it for 40 years for me. So I don't see what the Arsenal fans are all going on about now. It's just how it's always been. Just don't give them a reason to red card you. I don't know about you, mate.
You know what? Because you know what I was doing Saturday, but I saw the first half.
Yeah.
And then I saw a little bit of the second half, but I didn't see the incident until yesterday. I saw it yesterday, and you know what? There are good refs out there, but there's poor refs. You say, there are refs there's refs that cannot stand us. I mean, Kavanagh, I don't like him. I think he's a crap ref, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I mean, when I look at the situation like that, I just thought, you know what? Just walk away. Don't touch the ball. Just walk away. Just go about your business. And because they should know, Declan should know that it's not West Ham where there's things he can do and it gets ignored.
Yep.
You know, he's been with us a year now, so he's Arsenal through and through. He should know. He should know better in that regard. And the fact that he came out and admitted it, and fair play to him, because not many players do that.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, so I just feel another thing as well is that actually, I know we were chatting a lot with the guys in the WhatsApp, and you know what, I think it was myself, and I think it was Akpos that said this. I'm sure it was Akpos, where on a level, when you go down to 10, you can't just blame refs. When we had two chances that if you're going for a title, regardless of who you're playing, home and away, you're down to 10 men. That's what you got to do. Take those chances. Yep. We used to do it a lot under Graham. If we went down to 10 men, he would find a way. He would find a way through set pieces, or force a corner, or someone forces a corner. And 9 times out of 10, then you win the game 2-1, for example. Arsene Wenger, I was so impressed with what Wenger said years ago about when they're playing with 10 men, they do it in training. They work on it in training. How they do their splits. I was like, wow, so impressive. My favourite game where we went down to 10 men and won, I can't think of anything better, was 2-1 Anfield back in 2001. The season we won the league or won the double. But we took our chances on reconvert the penalty, and what Robert Pires did to Steven Gerrard, which was lovely that day, and then he squared the ball for Freddie Ljungberg. You know, he took that chance, and he had to. Yeah. We were 2-0 up, and then obviously we held on when Littman scored. But I feel that, I don't know if he's already working on it in training, but if he has done, but I think if we in a situation like that again this season, Mikel has to try and do something in training similar to what Arsene did. I'm sure he would have been witness to that, because he was a player at the time under Wenger. So instead of being like conservative, you know what I mean, and I agree with Luke's terminology there, conservative. You know, just try and do something more to get the win.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
No, I agree. The argument is at consistency. This is the problem is it's always we've always noticed. I've noticed it when I was a kid. The consistency.
We've always been hated.
We've always been hated. It's even the press used to hate us, because obviously back in the day it was literally newspapers. There wasn't any social media. It was literally the papers, and the papers hated us as well. And that's fair. You know, it definitely stems back to something in our history, which is why we're hated so much. But it is what it is, and we can't give any reason to be punished. And Declan unfortunately did it, and he even came out and admitted that he shouldn't have done that. And I said it on the stream. It is 2 yellows. It's stupid, but it is what it is. But is it fair? No, it's definitely not fair. But we've won titles whilst being treated unfairly. We've done it in the past, and we can do it again. We just can't give them an excuse to punish us, and that's the reason. I also believe that's why we're doing very well on PSR, because I know if we went 1 penny over, we would automatically get 3 points deducted. Just £1 over. Yeah. I guarantee it, because that's the way it is. So that's why we're very careful with our PSR as well. And we are always very careful. We've never been punished yet. Kavanagh also said, a lot of the refs just don't like us, and we don't like them. It's never going to change. The only one I can remember actually in liking was Uriah Rennie. Is the only ref I actually remember liking for many, many years to be. But obviously, I like Howard Webb, but Uriah Rennie was the last one I actually remember that I actually got. Is it Kalina?
Yeah,
or Lena?
Yeah,
the Italian guy.
Yeah,
I love
Pierluigi Kalina. Yeah,
absolutely loved him.
Uriah Rennie. Do you remember Uriah Rennie was the only one who had the balls to send off Alan Shearer?
Yeah. He's just
he didn't like Shearer.
Yeah, I love him. Do you think Arteta is shacking our attackers? Yes. And giving them too much defensive duties? Yes. I'm sorry, but that is probably the easiest question you've ever asked me, Tim. Arteta is being very, very, very controlling. I don't like it personally. Saka, Martinelli, Havertz, all just need to be. I also probably put in Odegaard there as well, because he's not been the same player yet. I've not seen him perform well at all. Everyone knows I'm not the greatest fan of him, my captain. And I still don't think he's the right person because he doesn't show enough passion for me. And that's from my point of view. Obviously, I'm a retired captain in the army, so for me, I kind of know and obviously with police officers as well, you have captains and stuff, and they have a slightly different aura about them. And Odegaard, for me, nice lad, very quiet. That's how I look at it.
I've always said that as well.
Yeah, and it's like Arteta wants a captain that is very quiet, so it's only Arteta's voice that's heard. And I don't like that.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I honestly do not think this, right? I don't think he'd have Vieira in the team. I don't think he'd have people like Petit. I think he'd have a big problem with Merson, Parla. There's a lot of players in our team over the years. I don't think he'd want in our team at all.
Definitely would.
Even Davor Suker, actually, as well, because I remember him being a little bit of drama. But I love him to bits. But
no, he'd have Ian Selly.
Oh yeah, Ian Selly, Steve Morrow.
I rated Ian Selly. Because they were quite lads. David Hilliard as well. Yeah.
But the quiet ones, they would definitely be fine. But it's the ones that would just
David
not rock the boat, but just talk back to you. Like, I don't agree with this. You know what you're doing. And they're the type of players that we are never going to get coming into our club. That's the sad part, because he don't want them. He doesn't want that type of character. That's why Ivan Toney, I've told you, and I've said it constantly, as soon as them two had a meeting, that was dead, because Tony's attitude does not suit Arteta's management style, shall I put it like that? Because he bites back. And there's nothing wrong with that. Players have attitudes. Of
course there isn't.
They all do. Jeez. Even some of the best ones did. Gary Lineker was a nice lad, and I'm sure he'd get in the Arsenal team under Arteta, to be fair. But Peter Beardsley, Gascoigne, nowhere near. Jeez.
Do you realise? You know what I mean? Do you realise over the years, from childhood right up to now, some of the most loudest, dirtiest mouths have won more titles than the quiet ones?
It's amazing, isn't it?
Bingo.
Yep, bingo. Big up to Chris. He was at the Old Trafford yesterday. watching the Liverpool beat Man United. Big up, lads. Hope you well. What a last couple of beautiful days. Yes, obviously, Paul Simpson got sacked as Carlisle manager, so that cheered him up.
That's one too.
Then Liverpool beat Man United. Verstappen didn't win the Grand Prix, so that's always another bonus as well. So, yeah, he's had a lovely time. He has. I hope Man United fans had a safe trip back to London. We do love that joke, I tell you. That always cracks us up. Arsenal lack striker in transfer window for me. Yeah, 100%. Send free in the magic numbers song to United fans. I hope you look okay after JJ yesterday. I heard he was upset. I spoke to him today for the first time since sacking, patting him on the back, saying you're not going to see him in his car anymore. Yeah, JJ did come into the chat yesterday. It was quite hard to see like who he would want, but he did eventually tell me some names that he would want as Carlisle manager. But it is what it is. If Arteta was to be sacked, I guarantee there'll be a massive part of our fan base that will be in bits, and other parts that won't care, and other parts that will celebrate. I will be one that don't care. I want what's best for Arsenal. If he gets sacked, he gets sacked because obviously he wasn't good enough.
I'm the same. I'm not going to jump for joy if he does. You know what I mean?
Arne Slot proving Arteta is not irreplaceable. Arne Slot is doing what I thought he could do. I didn't 100% weren't sure because obviously coming from Eredivisie to the Premier League is not always easy. But I think so far, from what I've seen, because obviously I watched the watch along yesterday, I was very impressed with Liverpool. Very impressed. I do think if they get an injury in midfield, they could struggle because obviously they've got no one to replace them. They've only got Endo, really. So if they were to get a couple of injuries, they might struggle. So if they can keep the team fit, they could be a big problem. Till he wins a trophy or is sacked, I'm calling him. To be fair, he has to win. For me, he has to win something this season. Has to win something.
He has to. There's no excuses.
No, I'm not going to listen to any. Yes, but we came this close to this. Did we? Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, and he's been given almost 5 years as well. So you know, it's.
I
would. Yeah.
No, carry on, mate. Carry on.
No, sorry. I was just saying that I know. If he'd only been at the club a year, then I wouldn't understand meltdowns. But when people have meltdowns, like when that word meltdown comes up, it's the meltdown only means if it's something you don't agree with. For you to come out with that word, I'm sorry, it's the truth. You know, when people say, "Oh, what's everyone having a meltdown?" It's because at the end of the day, if you've got faith in your manager, fine. But meltdowns I saw the weekend wasn't about sacking Arteta. No, it wasn't about that. It was a frustration of dropping points.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
I'm going to give you some really more bad news now because Victor Osimhen has just agreed to sign for Galatasaray on loan. You're telling me we couldn't get him? You're telling me because all they're doing is paying his wages. That's all they're doing.
I'd have thought we'd have gone for a loan deal. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Osimhen is going to now ask for his release clause to Napoli to become 75 million euros. So, and it looks like he wants it to change in January. So maybe this will be a 6-month loan for Galatasaray, and then hopefully he gets a move in January. But he's just signed for Galatasaray. Unbelievable. I'm not going to give you much better news, I'll be honest. Oh, God. I heard who JJ he needs to take. Yes, he definitely mentioned some Danny Granville and stuff like that. Yeah, he mentioned some ex-Carlisle players. I said that's pretty much Arsenal's way of managers, to be fair. We like anyone linked with Arsenal to have some kind of link with Arsenal. Apart from Wenger, Rioch and Emery. Is that the only three, isn't it, I think, over the whole history?
What's that?
That have had no link with Arsenal. It's Wenger, Emery, and Rioch, isn't it?
Wenger, Emery, Rioch. Well, after they're the ones. They're the three after Graham, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously he was
Yes.
ex-player, wasn't he? So
Ex-player, yeah, that's right.
Mm.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
yeah.
Rioch never played for Arsenal, thank God. Yeah.
Thank God, yeah.
I mean, and no, I cannot stand him as a person. Oh God, you heard him in interviews in the past. Oh mate, even when he was manager at QPR, my QPR mates didn't like him either.
Yeah,
dear.
it's mad, isn't it? No excuses for Arteta this season. Needs to win a trophy. If it's a League Cup or FA Cup, then it's success. Depends where we finished in the league, if I'm honest. If we win cups, I'll be delighted.
I mean,
right? If we finish fifth and we win a cup, then no, that's not enough for me. I don't know about you, Brent, but that's not enough for me.
I think I know. If, say, for example, we finished fifth and Arteta won a League Cup and an FA Cup, it is success for me. And but you're always judged in your league. You're always judged it. You're judged in the league. I mean, even though we won both the League Cup, FA Cup in '93, I think we finished 10th. We had an awful league season. But George Graham made up for it with 2 cups.
Yeah.
And then we won the cup the following year.
I think if you just look at the teams that we're competing against, it's literally Liverpool, Man City. Third is minimum. Third is minimum for me. Any lower than that means we've fallen behind either Chelsea, Man United, or Tottenham, or it's just someone else that's just not better than us.
Even Newcastle.
Well, even Newcastle as well. Yeah. So third minimum. That's why, because I'm looking at the teams, and obviously there's not many teams that really can compete with us at the moment, other than Man City and Liverpool. Fifth would be someone. That means someone else has somehow got above us, and that ain't happening. Tony and Osimhen were available for Arsenal on deadline day. Tony was never going to happen. Osimhen, we were never interested for quite a while. We stopped that about a few weeks before the deadline day. But we could have tried. If this was the situation, I would have taken it. I'm just saying. I mean, that makes sense regarding Napoli. Yeah, it does make sense for Napoli, but jeez, what a ridiculous joke that is. Man United have renamed their stadium to Mo Trafford. Yeah, Salah was amazing. Well, that's my thing about Liverpool. Next season, they're going to have to really consider what they're going to do with replacing Salah, because obviously Salah will leave.
Yeah,
big, massive.
And he has said that.
Gap. Yeah, so it's a massive gap that he's going to fill, because he was outplayable yesterday. Right, I'm going to now start.
He's enjoying his football again.
Oh yeah, 100%. You can understand why. Right, we're going to start with Mystery German. Right, Brenny, who do you think it was?
Okay, only 2 comes to mind.
Okay,
it would have for me. For me, I actually thought the only 2 I could think of was Leroy Sané, and I thought was going to be someone else that we were bringing home.
Al Nabry.
Back home, yeah, correct. They were the 2 I thought.
No.
And it wasn't either one of them.
No. Unfortunately, you're not going to get excited when I say the name, because most of you will be like, who? Maximilian Mittelstadt. If anyone knows him, well done, because that was the mystery German. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. We couldn't get rid of the player that we wanted to get rid of to bring him in. Unfortunately, obviously Kieran Tierney got injured in the Euros, and he would have been the replacement for Tierney, but obviously Tierney's injured. So it was a 27-year-old left back from Stuttgart, Mittelstadt. And it wouldn't have excited anyone, to be fair. But I like him. I think if we go, everyone knows how much I love fullbacks. So please do not say Musiala. Billy Wright in the 1960s spent his career at Wolves regarding managers. Yeah, Billy Wright's stand is literally there for me, because he's actually got a stand named after him here. He's got a statue and everything at Wolves, and I'm right next to it, which is lovely. So I get to see that. And I spoke to Brenny about it, because I didn't realise Billy Wright was such a big person with Arsenal as well. But because he's a hero here.
Yeah, because I read about him years ago, he did have players, but I don't think we won anything under him. But it's I think when he left, I think Bertie Mee came in. I think Bertie Mee was after Billy Wright, but then it's like Bertie it's like Billy left him with the tools for him to build a side that would end up going to win our first trophy in Europe and then win the double in '71. So yeah.
Okay. Chris is going with Nico Hulkenberg. Wrong sport. That would have been one heck of an interesting one. Please do not say Musiala. Oh, trust me, that's never going to happen. Temi gone who? I'm not surprised, honestly. I know via FC24 FIFA Games, Geeks knows who he is. So it wasn't
Sakuta Pasu.
Of course, Mr. German, someone most won't have heard of Bobby Hyman. It's someone that I would have been quite happy with because we did need a left back. We've been looking for a left back for all summer, but then Tierney got injured, which screwed our plans up for left back because we also were looking at Kadioglu, the young Turk that went to Brighton. We were also in talks with him. So we were looking at a left back. Kadioglu, we couldn't get a price for him at all because I think there's about £10 million difference between what they wanted and what we were paying. Mittelstadt was quite easy negotiations. So we kind of had the deal ready, but unfortunately Tierney obviously got injured. That screwed our plans up because we couldn't get rid of him. So, yeah. Correct, Brenny. Was he the choice ahead of Calafiori or both? Now, Calafiori was always coming in anyway because he's classed as a centre back as well. Yes, he's going to be playing left, this inverted BS. But no, he's also a centre back. That's his main role. That's his main duties. He's basically covering Saliba and Gabriel. And I know that there's a lot of people talking, and we'll get on to Calafiori, and people need to be prepared for how much he's being paid because it's not the right amount that people have heard. So be prepared, sit you down. You might need a coffee or a whiskey or whatever your fancy tipple is. But yeah, be prepared. Be prepared for Sterling as well because I've obviously found out how much he's being paid now as well. So be prepared for that too. Right. Let's have a look. False rumours. There was a lot. João Neves, never going to happen. I know James got really excited about João Neves, but never going to happen. I'm trying to think of Can you think of any other ones, mate? Those that talked with us. Sesko was real. We only just needed to see what was real. Yeah, Sesko was real. He was on number 2 target. Everyone knows who our number 1 target was. It hasn't changed. It still won't change. Trying to think of other false rumours that there was. There was a lot of talk about Kingsley Coman. Never going to happen.
Yeah. What about Mudryk as well? That wasn't real, was it?
No, that wasn't real. No,
I didn't think it
was. It was someone that we were interested in, but there was no way that we could have done that deal because Chelsea actually don't want to get rid of him. I don't know where that rumour's come from. I know someone's come out of it today, but absolute codswallop because he's part of the Chelsea project. He's not someone that's been kicked to the side. What else was there? There was Marcos Asensio. That's been mentioned again. I don't know why it keeps getting mentioned. Absolute codswallop. But yeah, there's so many different ones. Let's just see what other people have been saying. Mbappe, we did actually go in for that because why not? Why would you not?
Yeah,
we did go in for it. We were well short, which I was expecting us to be, but we at least put the offer in. And if
you can't, and you can't fault that. You cannot fault that.
No. But at the end of the day, when it comes to commercial deals and all that kind of stuff, we were quite lucky because we're sponsored by Fly Emirates, which was a bonus for us because obviously we all know who Real Madrid is sponsored by. We all know who PSG is sponsored by, all sponsored by the same company. So that would have helped us. Commercial package would have been okay. But obviously wage-wise, there's no way we could have gone as high as what Real Madrid have gone. So Chris will have a right Pina. You won't be too worried about it, mate. You're a Liverpool fan and a Carlisle fan, so it won't really affect you. But that's the football market these days. It's made crazy. Our wages overall must have improved due to those who left and having less body. El Neni, Eddie, Emil, Nelson, the person that I won't name, were on a good amount. Yeah, to be fair, we'll get onto that because I have managed to find the majority of the wages. I'm still waiting for Marino's at the moment. But yeah, what about, was he real? Oh, wait, yeah. Look, as I said, I was very determined Calafiori and Marino would sign, and they did sign. It just took a lot longer than I was expecting. But this market has been so stupid with. And the problem is the PSR is different from this season than it will be this next season. So the rules change. Yeah. So what you have to make sure is the structure is set up for the next set of rules because it can bite you on the butt. Chelsea have found a way of doing this with this extraordinary way of signing players onto new contracts. Like Jackson's now there for 9 years. So good luck with that, Mr. Jackson. But 9 years he's there. Why did we spend so much time on Williams without working on the backup? The backup was Sterling. That was the backup. And Sterling was never going to be a problem at all. It was never going to be a problem to get him. We stopped on Nico Williams 10 o'clock on transfer deadline day. That's how late we left it. We gave him one more offer. That's why Nico came out. Was it yesterday? He came out with a statement that, why he was staying. There was loads of clubs interested in him. He came out with that statement yesterday. He could have come out with that any time in that transfer window. He didn't because he was still discussing and thinking about what he wants to do. We stopped at 10 o'clock that morning. Then we went on to Sterling. So it wasn't really a shock to anyone. Essentially, I always linked to Arsenal every summer. Yeah, it's the new Draxler. That's essentially the new Draxler for us. So we did not sign Rabiot, and we were linked, not a transfer without that link. Yeah, not true. Rabiot was not true. Edu gained a lot of money this season, fair play, but we won't win anything this season. We still haven't got enough money in for me. It worked out to be 76.4 million. Nowhere near what we wanted. We wanted close to like 150 million this window. We didn't get anywhere near that. Obviously, with a lot of players left out on loan. We didn't get the amount that we wanted for Ramsdale. Sorry, I'm looking at my piece of paper, which is why I'm looking down there. Fabio Vieira obviously left. No one really talked about that apart from me. That I did say I think Fabio will leave on loan. I don't agree with the going back to Portugal. I don't agree with that. I think that's stupid. But I think, to be honest, I think that is the final nail in the coffin. I think when he comes back, he will then be sold because he's not going to change in physicality. He's not going to change any. No,
he's not. And this is the thing.
Yeah. So for me,
I thought he would have gone to Italy, Bobby.
It would have made sense. It would have made sense going to Italy, but yeah, it is what it is. Right, what else are we saying here? Marino clearly doesn't like the Spanish mountains associated with a slight dick. Yes. Big up to Simba Chigura, Sterling number.
I've heard number 10.
Yes, I've heard he's the number 10. I need it confirmed, but currently I have heard it's number 10. Which means I'm going to have to change my intro because he's now going to be in the history books as a number 10 for Arsenal. But at the end of the day, people, it's only a loan, and we'll get on to talking about Sterling properly in a minute. Waiting for Barca Inaki. I think so. That's always been my outlook as Williams will always go to Barca. But I like the fact that Arsenal kept trying because if we managed to get him, geez, the fan base would go into meltdown. Even the negative part would actually go fair play. Play getting Nico Williams. But yeah, it just didn't happen. Please, Cyrus in the background, Benny. What have you done? He's always naughty. He's always naughty.
Oh, it's not police. It's the ambulance services.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. No, Bobby, you led with that regarding Fabio. Shame he did not to move competitive. Yeah, I always felt that Fabio would never stay. It just didn't make sense. Obviously, we're selling Smith Rowe. We're not. There's no way we're going to keep Fabio for me, because for me right now, Smith Rowe is more dangerous than Fabio is in this league. He's already proved it. To be fair, Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we were selling Smith Rowe, who's more dangerous and already suited to this league, then there's no way Fabio was going to make it. I hate it because I love him. I think he's a very talented young lad, but I think he's done now. I think we'll sell him next summer. But Fabio Vieira finding his. So I know you're typing Vieira, but it feels wrong me saying Vieira. Because for me, Vieira is Patrick. So I'm just going to say Fabio. I'm sorry, mate. It's not your fault, Chris. It's just me. I can't. It doesn't feel right with me. So Fabio Vieira finding his level for me seemed too weak when I watched him play. He is a very weak young lad, but he's so talented with the ball. That's what excites me about him. And I'm sure he'll do very well, but not in the English league for me. Syria would make sense. Very slow league. Yeah, and it would just toughen up a bit. Yeah. So summer 2025, Wirtz or bust. We are making plans for summer 2025 already. It will be definitely one big signing. And I hope it's the person that we're trying to get, because if not, this whole last summer has been a waste of our time. I'll be honest. Ferrari and Red Bull in talks with the FIA about the flexi wing front wings used by McLaren and Mercedes. Oh, seriously? What's wrong? Oh. That's why I hate those T teams, mate. That's why I hate them. Anyway, right. Arteta Pan starting to look more like a student of Moyes than a student of Wenger Guardiola to me. I like Moyes, though, to be fair. Missed opportunities. Let's quickly get into this. This won't take long. Right, Ksertsky. He was someone that we actually agreed deal with, but we didn't want to get him over the line in the end. So we could have got a striker if we wanted one. But we chose not to. It is what it is. I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. Kadioglu was another one that we had agreed a deal with. We chose not to put it over the line. Because with the Kadioglu, it's more to do with the price. It was 10 million, as I said earlier. It was 10 million difference, but we had already agreed with him. Now, Raya. There was a possibility that Raya was not going to stay. We were... I honestly, when this started, I was like, you're joking me. Because when it comes to being ruthless, Arteta is ruthless. He was contemplating getting Lunin from Real Madrid. Going full in on him.
Right.
Yeah, to replace him as the number one. I was like, you are winding me up. That's why it took so long to trigger the actual what had already been agreed. We could have pulled out of that if we wanted to. And I was like, oh geez. But no, and Lunin obviously stayed at Real Madrid in the end as well. So, but yes, he was contemplating it. I just obviously this summer it's just been such a flat end to the window for me. It's just been so disappointing.
Yeah, it has been.
Couldn't write it with the two teams moving. Yeah, I can't stand. You know how much I hate them. You know how much I hate those two teams. Hi, Bobby. Can Arteta deal with big ego players? No, he cannot.
Hell no. No way.
No. We said even, it earlier,
even the biggest diehard Arteta fan would have to admit that. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, he doesn't like... You've seen the way that he has his team meetings, right? Can you imagine someone in there who can't be bothered, sits there and answers, and bad attitude in that little office that they have? It just wouldn't work. And I personally, as long as you respect the manager, I'm all about respecting him. But sometimes you do need to answer back and go, "What the hell are you doing? I don't agree with this. It doesn't suit me. I want him to challenge him, but it's Arteta's way or no way." And you see that when we're playing games. Arteta does not like players coming out of position, coming out of the setup. You see it all the time. Arteta loses his head over it. Yeah. And for me, Saka, Martinelli, maybe Havertz a little bit, and definitely Odegaard need to be given a bit more free rein. Do what they're good at. Yeah. Let them do some crazy stuff. Let Saka take someone on. Jeez, just
you're right.
Let them be free.
Martinelli and Saka had that freedom in the short time that Unai Emery was there.
Yeah.
When Martinelli first came on, he was like, wow. Same with Bukayo Saka on the when he was on the left-hand side, he was just He was beating players for fun.
Yeah, exactly. We just don't do that anymore. It's you get into that final third. It's like the final third phase passing on the weekend was the worst stat I've ever seen Arsenal do for so many years. 57% in the final third. Yeah. That is horrendous. We should be at least 80, 85%. We're 57% in the final third. It was pathetic.
I saw that. We didn't even look comfortable with the ball at all.
No, it wasn't. It was just we need to sharpen up, especially for the North London derby as well. A goalkeeper every season is really weird. He is ruthless. Now, in a way, it's good, but in a way, it's also bad because as a player, you want a bit of stability, especially when it comes to goalkeepers and defenders. You want that kind of relationship where they know each other very well. Like Raya has now obviously known Saliba and Gabriel and the way that they defend, so they know that the way that they're going to pass back to you and all that kind of stuff, the pace and all that kind of crazy stuff. Lunin would have to learn on the job again. And it's just madness, absolute madness. I feel we had a wad of money not used. Now, I'll get into that, geeks, because people won't like that answer either. How much money we had to spend. Strikers need an attitude and an edge. In my honest opinion, Saka is too scripted on the pitch. They need creative freedom. 100%. He's so talented. That he should just be allowed to be free. And Martinelli, yes, a lot of people don't like the way he does it, but just let him be free. If he shoots it over the bar 10 times, fine. But I guarantee a couple of those times he'll be on target and there'll be a streamer of a goal. You know, it just frustrates me. Strange as Arteta was under Wenger with the creative teammates he had. Yeah, I know. The people putting those two in the same conversation sometimes really annoy me because he's nothing like Wenger for me. Arteta's nothing like Wenger. He's definitely got a lot of pep, but not all the good stuff of Pep either. Like Pep actually wants a striker, an actual striker. We don't. No offense to Havertz, he's a great player. Everyone knows how much I love him, but he's not a number 9. He is not a number 9, and he won't ever be a number 9. He's not good enough for number 9. He's not fast enough. He's not strong enough. The ones we've been looking at, like Sesko, yes, he's a little bit rough around the edges, but he's definitely a number 9. Xerxes, yes, he didn't have a great game yesterday, but I've seen him at Bologna and I've seen him before that. He is he's going to be a very good number 9 and can drop into the number 10 when needed. And then you look at Isaac. My God, would that guy fire goals galore with us?
He scored 25 plus with us.
Easily.
That's how good he
is. Easily. So, and Arteta's just, I don't want it to be an Arteta rant, but it will be.
No, but you know what it is as well? Sorry, Bobby. You know, another thing it could be as well. As much as we want Arteta to succeed, we want him to do well. We want to win the title. We want to win trophies. Do you also think there's a thing where if it was a different board, do you reckon he would have got that striker in? Because I feel he would have. Because there's always. I don't think with the Cronkies there isn't pressure. From what I can see, there isn't a lot of pressure. What I mean by that is if we don't win a trophy, if we were to get knocked out the semi-finals of the Champions League, finish second in the league again, not win, and if we bin the cups or we don't compete in the 2 domestic cups, I still think it would probably be a case of, well, you know what, you've got us back in the Champions League again, and because the thing is, Stan Kroenke, I don't give a damn about. Josh Kroenke, I still don't know. I know we spoke about this time ago, and you think, like Josh has got the club's best interest in heart, but I don't know, mate. Seriously, I don't know.
Stan couldn't give a monkey's butt. That one I do agree with. Josh is very different. Now, Josh came over last December and did ring the riot act with not just the players, because he was unhappy with some players at the time, because obviously at that time we were struggling. And
we had a bad run around Christmas.
And he came over and spoke to Edu and Mikel as well. And at the time, he wasn't happy with certain players that were kept. So like Thomas Partey, people that had bad injury records, we kept them.
Yes, right. That's
and
right. Yeah.
that will backfire on him again if this all fails, because Thomas Partey, we all wanted him replaced. You know, there is a good chance that he will leave for free. Josh won't want that.
Yeah.
Josh won't be happy with that because at the end of the day, he wants success for his club. He, you know, I think Stan said it as well in America lately that Arsenal are the only club that they own that haven't been successful. All the other clubs, all the franchises that they own in America have all won the big honors, whatever the basketball, I don't know what they own. Colorado Rapids won something, I think, as well. I think
they got the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, I don't really follow the the American sports. I don't know who they are, but they've all won stuff.
Rams,
this is the only team that hasn't won anything. I know it's a lot harder, but Josh still wants success. Josh wants it. Stan couldn't give a monkey's butt. He's quite happy to sit out there and just, whatever. But Josh wants it. And Josh will be furious if this all... Because at the beginning of this transfer window, he signed off the plans. Now, that includes the amount of money that we were going to spend out of Arsenal's finances as well. And it was close to 300 to 400 million. That's how much he signed off for. We spent 91.8 million. 91.8 out of what we could have spent. All because Arteta wants the way that he wants it. So we could have gone out and got someone if obviously there were two big targets that were not available. Isaac is obviously one that we all know is not available. There was a 2% chance of Isaac possibly happening at the end of the window, but unfortunately Newcastle chose to go a different route and chose to keep him. But Isaac, for me, is a future Arsenal player. I don't know if you can have bets on him being an Arsenal in an Arsenal shirt within 2 seasons, but I would probably do it if I was you, because I do think he'll be at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Bruno Guimaraes, we all know that we're very keen on him and we would sign him if was available. But again, he also said, not happening. I'm staying here. I think he became captain as well at Newcastle, so that ain't going to happen. So there's obviously, let's say that's 200 million already not spent. But my theory is, how about you go out and find someone else that does the job? Stop worrying about the 2 people, because there's way more players in the world than 2 people. And I get it. Isaac's a very good striker, but there's other strikers out there. There's other strikers, and this is what frustrates me, because obviously once Mikel wants you, he doesn't forget about you, and that is great, but it also holds us back for me, because I guarantee Wenger never got number 1 targets every single time. So, just how about just have a bit of an open mind, and like if that opportunity, and it didn't come up on the transfer deadline, just so you know, Osimhen, this deal for what he's got for Galatasaray did not happen on our transfer deadline day. If that opportunity came up and Arteta seriously said no, I would want him sacked there and then. I'll be honest. Yeah. Because there's no way. If that's the type of deal you're being offered for Osimhen and you turn it down, I'm sorry, there's something not quite right with you. Because I would take that all day, every day. Osimhen on a loan, just to pay his wages. Jeez, I'm having it all day, every day. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a mini rant on this show today. Sorry.
No. Let it out, mate. Let it out. Let it out.
But no, it's just he is so fixated with just what he wants, which is great in a way. But it does close your minds to other opportunities. Like Sesko was an opportunity because obviously there's a release clause. I think he's a very good talent as well. I think he will be a very good striker in the future. Don't think right now, but I think next season we might see a better one. But there's other players like Jimenez. Is it Jimenez from Feyenoord?
Yeah.
Why the hell did we not go and get him for cheap?
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm a big Ollie Watkins fan as well. And Ollie Watkins is an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, easily done. Say you want him. That will soon ruffle some feathers in Ollie Watkins' camp, and you go, okay, I want the mood. Come on, Villa. I want the move. Because they've got PSR issues themselves. They would have been tempted in the end by a large amount of money. But it's just, it is what it is. But Ollie Watkins was never going to happen for Arsenal either. If you kill an attacker's flair, they will crumble. Martinelli is losing his way 100%. Carlisle is in process of getting sporting director in first and getting head coach afterwards. Hopefully that's Greg Abbott gone too. Always interesting. You're welcome to Greg Abbott as your sporting director. He's world class at his job. I'm going to guess no, but Edu will be signing a new deal soon anyway. So, and I'll be honest,
I've seen our Ross Abbott.
But Edu deserves a lot of credit for this summer. He's worked his little booty off this summer, getting all the possible options available. But at the end of the day, Arteta's the one that rubber stamps him. So if Arteta doesn't want him in the end, that's his choice. Brenny mentions the board. I agree. Jury is still out whether they are actually putting their hand in the pockets. I think Arsenal generates its own revenue. We've always been a self-sustaining club, and there's only a certain amount that we can pump in not me. I don't know why I'm saying me. I don't pump any money into Arsenal.
We know what you mean.
The owners. I feel like I'm the owners there. But no, there's only a certain amount the owners can actually pump in anyway. Like that's part of PSR rules. You can't just pump in continuous amounts of money because it's against the rules. Basically, Arteta has limited our potential this summer. For me, yes. But Bobby, Isaac likes to score against Tottenham. I can't wait. Bobby, it is a Bobby rant. Big up to Luke, who's come in. Northampton Town have signed Tyler Robertson. Oh, that's a good signing. On a season-long loan deal from Birmingham City. That's obviously because they've got Jay Stansfield in it, which is a great signing for League One, by the way. Broken the record. Is it like 10 million quid for a League One team? Is incredible. I get the frustrations, to be fair. It was the same with us. There's the same players as Zubimendi. Zubimendi, for me, was never going to happen. There was only one time he was tempted to move, and that was last summer. Since then, I've not really heard him wanting to move. And, I just didn't see it happening, to be honest. I did say to you I didn't think it would happen. First time seeing Bobby rant. Hate to see Arteta rant get you all worked up. Now, I'm even being bantered by my partner now. She's just texted me saying, talk about the good signings, which I will now get onto in shortly. But there is has issues with Raheem Sterling. That's all I'll say. Right, transfers out. Let's quickly get into this. Right, obviously we sold Smith Rowe to Fulham. He was going to go. We all knew it. Decent price, Bren. Happy with that?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose looking at it, because I mean, I didn't even. There were times where it was like last season. Oh, he's injured. But to be honest, majority of the time he was on the bench and he wasn't injured. I felt he just spent most of his time on the bench, and it was probably one last season. I don't think it was as injury prone as seasons before. I was disappointed to seeing him go.
Yep.
He, for me, was out of the players that had left, he was the one person I didn't want to see go. And but there's nothing we can do about it. He's a Fulham player now, and we've said we wish him all the best. I hope he does well for Fulham. Obviously not against us, home or away, but I hope he does well. And it's just I mean, that for him. You know what really hurts me about Smith Rowe is that he's still young. He wasn't finished as a player. There are those that would say he's washed up. No, I disagree. Right. For me, people have short memories and they tend to forget that he most of the time he was carrying that team about 3 seasons ago. Almost got us Champions League football. I thought even that time he was better than Odegaard and Saka in that season. Yeah, he for me was one of our most brilliant players. And then the season before, it's like he just said to himself, you know what, or even just let me at Chelsea. He always turned up in the derbies as well. I'm missing him already, but
as I said, and it's what people are not going to like, but. Smith Rowe is someone that does not listen to instructions. He is someone that likes to free roll. Yeah. And that's the way he best plays. So he does it for under 21s at England. Just let him do what he wants because he's good at it. You do that in Arsenal, and it makes him look rubbish. And it's kind of what's happening with some of the players now. That I'm not saying they look rubbish, but that they're holding them back a bit. So
Marcus Silva will is letting him loose anyway. So
yeah. Now, does anyone know the Madagascar film?
Yeah, I've seen all three.
The one that the zebra.
Oh, Chris Rock zebra, yeah.
Yeah. So
Marty.
I'm sorry.
No,
Raheem.
no. Martin the Lion. Sorry, no, I can't remember.
I'm sorry, Raheem. But that is how classes Raheem Sterling as when he runs. She's just sent me a gif of zebra running, and it's live from Arsenal. Raheem Sterling. I know he runs in a very strange way. It's what suits him. But Em's bantering me on the phone at the moment.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I hope he does very well because obviously he's in an Arsenal shirt now. But I can't say I wanted him. If I'm honest, I can't say I wanted him. But it is what it is.
I wanted him 2 seasons ago.
Oh, did you? When he was having a good time?
When he left City, I wanted him then.
Yeah.
But it
is what it is. Chris saying, I reckon we get Zubimendi still in January or next summer for some strange reason. I think Zubimendi might leave next summer because obviously Sociedad will want to be prepared for that kind of situation. He's still got release clause, so he's easily gettable. Summer 2025, if Zach converts, I will be a happy chappy. So will I. I love Verts. But we made 100 million on transfer. Bobby, how did you arrive at 76? Who said we made 100 million? Who have I missed? Okay, so the people that we've actually sold: Ramsdale, Nketiah, ESR, Bettino, Norton Coffee, BRF. Is there anyone I'm missing that we actually sold for money? Is there anyone? I know we got a lot of money from like add-on, like sell-on clauses and stuff like that, but I don't really count that. I don't think we've got any more. Only maybe because those people have added the add-ons already. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
That must be.
Because Smith Rowe, we got £26.8 million. Nketiah, £25 million. Ramsdale, £18 million. Obviously, a lot of those go up after add-ons. Bettino, we got £1 million. Norton Coffee, we got 1.6, and BRF, we got 4. So I don't know where. I know there's a lot of numbers, but these are the Arsenal PR people. So we just need to be careful.
Yeah.
But yeah, the outs were the best Edu could do with the way that the players were managed. Arteta did not add to their value. Spot on, geeks. That is what I've said for many, many years. You lose value in a player if you don't play them. It's simple.
Yeah.
If you're not showcasing the player, they're gonna. It's just like a car. Just like a car. You lose money if you don't. If your car keeps crashing, are you going to pay a load of money for it? Not are you? Preach, Brenny. Chris loving this. Sterling runs like a penguin about to get his food. Tavares is alone with a. I looked this up. So this is an obligation to buy. However, it has to meet certain criteria. So I've seen it in the past where. I've seen it where someone signed someone on loan and they stopped playing them because if they played over a certain amount of games, that would automatically trigger it. So I have seen it in the past where it doesn't go through. So just be careful. Intrigued by Fulham Smith Rowe playing in natural position, but intrigued by Piera dropping back. Yeah, I'm the same, to be honest. I think Fulham could be a really good team to play against this season. You've been added. No, it's all right. Everyone does the add-ons. The add-ons are, most of the time you'll get them, but not guaranteed, unfortunately. So I always do guaranteed money. Right, so we've done the outs. Obviously, ACD, obviously Koji Dubu, for people that don't know what I'm on about, is going to a tribunal. So we will get some form of money for that. Raw Waters is another one that's left. He will get some money for him as well. That's going to a tribunal. M just thought I said ACDC. No, I didn't say ACDC, darling. ACD. Goes you Dewberry. And obviously, Cheetah Open Martin will also be going to Tribunal as well. So we'll get some funds for that. I'm so angry about it. It's just not even funny now. Because also, I noticed someone was saying about using Sago Jr. Now, did anyone know that Sago Jr. has actually left Arsenal? Because people think that he's still at the club. He's gone. He's out on loan.
He's gone as well.
Yeah, he's gone to Shrewsbury. He's on loan there. So I don't know why people are mentioning his name, because I noticed it in the group WhatsApp. I was like, does anyone know that he's gone? Because he's at Shrewsbury. Yeah. Shrewsbury's not far from me, so he's just up the road from me. But yeah, he's on loan now, so we can't use him. Who else has gone that was annoying me? Let's have a look. So I'm going for the list. I'm happy for Nwankwo to leave, by the way. I hope he does well at Wrexham. Reece Nelson, flat loan to Fulham. So that's a good one. Obviously, Suarez has finally left, so I'm delighted by that one. El Neni obviously left for free.
Thought he'd never wanted to leave.
yeah. Add-ons basically is XG, and I love XG. It's not guaranteed money. It could be, but it's like a pot of money that you can't touch just yet, so it doesn't exist to me. I'll worry Eddie, Rambo, and ESR potentially ties made harder, and Arteta's inner secrets known in the opposite dressing room. Probably. Because the problem with Arteta, he is very one-dimensional. And I've said this for so long, and it's kind of what annoys me. Now, because Mourinho's come in, but unfortunately he's out now, would have made us have a little bit of fluidity around our team. But we can't do that now because Mourinho's not in the team. So we're back to one-dimensional. So it could be a problem for a few weeks yet. Who was the second Chelsea player we were looking at? I would have looked at Nkunku and Lavia. Unfortunately, not those two. It was Madueke was the other player we were looking at Chelsea.
Okay.
I personally love him. Obviously, he's
a good player
doing bits at Chelsea. But yeah, Madueke was the other one. Right, transfers in. This will be very short due to the fact we didn't do much. But
normally the way.
Yeah. Neto coming in. Now, obviously, we all know we were trying to get Joan Garcia. Couldn't get him over the line because we weren't going to pay the amount that the Espanyol wanted, which is fine. I've got no issues with overpaying for someone. I'm a Scrooge. Everyone knows I'm a Scrooge in his house. So I'm quite happy not to pay what someone wants. So I've got no issues with that. David Bentley. Why do I say David Bentley? Daniel Bentley. Who's David Bentley? Who's he? Is there a David Bentley?
David Bentley. He was, yeah. He played for us over 20 years ago. He was a youth.
Oh God, yes. Player. Oh God, yeah. The one, yeah. I know who you're on about. Yeah. Oh God, yes. Now I remember.
Played Blackburn. He ended up going down.
He definitely wouldn't have played under Arteta because he had a real bad attitude. Jeez.
Yeah, he did. I liked it though.
Yeah, I liked it as well. But
you know what it was though? We had two. Yeah, I know. You see, with Bentley, it's only because we had a lot of quality at the time. A lot of quality. Yeah. And he was never gonna, which I understand, which I get. Had a lot of quality then. So yeah. But he had a short career though.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Right, so Neto, came in. So obviously we couldn't get the other goalkeepers that we wanted, but we were interested in Neto when Leno was leaving. I don't know if anyone really remembers that, but at the time, Neto was meant to be coming in for Leno back then. So Inaki's always been keen on Neto. So we finally got him. We got him on loan. He's been paid £50,000 a week. Got no issues with that. Have you got any issues with that?
No. And you know what it is, a goalkeeper. I always say it's the hardest position in football in terms of you try and you can get two quality right backs, get two quality left backs, our position as well, but two quality goalkeepers, or quality goalkeeper or decent goalkeepers, not very easy. I think we were blessed we were blessed years ago with keepers that we had. That
Yeah.
if Sidney got injured, would come in and do a job. We were very, very lucky. Alex Meninga for one, and who was another one? Who I liked him, Stuart Taylor, who I thought was better than Richard Wright. When we
Yes, he was. Richard Wright sucked. Absolute rubbish goalkeeper, Richard Wright.
He was so bad, so bad. I mean, I think he was
in goal. Switch player.
Yeah, I think he was in goal when we lost. We lost 4-2 at home with Charlton.
Yeah, that surprised me. Ipswich is rubbish.
That. Paying, £8 for pay-per-view football back then. Oh god, £8 for to watch Richard Wright help us lose. Oh, yeah. It was awful.
But I will say that we were trying to get Szczesny as well. I know Szczesny's come out and said it as well, that we offered him a deal, but it wasn't something that he was keen on. Yeah, it was before he retired. We did offer him a deal, but he wasn't keen on it. It was a huge wage drop as well. I think that was the biggest issue for Szczesny, if I'm honest.
That's a shame.
Yeah, because he would have been homegrown as well, which would have been helpful for our homegrown quota. But it is what it is. We've now got Neto.
It's a shame, mate, because with Szczesny, I will say, when he left us, he became a better goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He just got better. Oh
yeah,
he just got better. I couldn't believe his form.
Yeah, he
when
was so good.
Changed a few years ago. I was like, wow.
But I'll be surprised if we see much of Neto play at all. If I'm honest, I think he's literally there if Raya has a problem. It's not going to be like Ramsdale, where I think he'll be the number. He might play the Carabao, I suppose, but I think it wouldn't shock me if Setford comes in. For anyone that doesn't know, he's the under-21 goalkeeper. I wouldn't shock me if Setford comes in for the Carabao. Neto's just going to be there for cover. I think literally just cover. Let's move on to obviously Raya. We all know, blah blah blah. Talked about that. Calafiori. We signed him for £37.9 million. A lot of people were saying that he was only being paid a small amount of money. £120,000 a week he's being paid, which is pretty much up there with, Ben White type scenario. So I can see if he doesn't start playing, I can see him getting frustrated, if I'm honest, because he hasn't played much of a role yet. And Timber's been picked over him and all that kind of stuff. So. But what have you made of Calafiori, or what you've seen so far, anyway?
I mean, I like him. I actually thought he did have a good Euros. I didn't know much about him at all, until the Euros, to be honest with you. And you know what? I would play him. I would play him in the North London derby.
Yeah,
and plus, and like you say, it's about. I mean, there is keeping players happy, and there's also being ruthless in your selection. But Arteta, how he spoke of him, and how much he was in love with the player, and he saw him about a year ago, and blah blah blah, and all of that. I thought to myself, okay, well that means he's going to be a number one left back now. And now with Timber as well. See, the thing that. I mean, with Timber, it's going to be because Timber can play across, as we know. So, but Calafiori, he'd be my number one left back.
Yeah,
and then for Timber, Timber would be fighting with Ben White for that right back spot. And then you've still got, the fact that Timber could also play F, because obviously I don't want to see Zinchenko at left back. We none of us do, and. Yeah. And then you say, and Kieran Tierney is still injured, isn't he? So
yeah.
Anytime, when's he going to be back? He's out for a while. Okay.
Yeah, there is no date on him because it's Kieran Tierney. He can literally just get out of bed and get injured again. So I love him to bits. I do.
Yeah, me too.
But honestly, the once this chapter's over for him, I hope he succeeds wherever he goes, because I love him to bits. He's a brilliant left back, but when it comes to injuries at Arsenal, it's horrendous. So
definitely. Yeah.
But he's out for a while. So it's the same as Tomiyasu, to be fair. He's out for a while. Actually, I forgot to mention Tomiyasu at the beginning of our window. Atletico Madrid actually put a bid in for Tomiyasu, and we turned it down. I kind of wish we'd accepted it now and got the money, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as much as I'm a fan of Tomiyasu, but it's going to be the same again, isn't it? Really, I personally think because of his injury situation, I think this will be his last season at Arsenal.
Yeah, big up to Simba. Oh yeah, Neto is cup side, isn't he?
Yeah,
he played for Brentford already. Oh, not Bournemouth already. Yeah. Oh, well done, Simba. Forgot about that. Yeah, so Tommy Setford will, well, unless we go with Raya, but I can't see it.
Yeah.
Again, we're playing Bolton, aren't we? So surely a game that Setford we could put Setford in. Or even Nygaard. So. Former Arsenal youth who scored a worldie for Spurs, David Bentley. The Bentley who scored from the halfway line. We signed the wrong Neto. Oh dear. Right. We'll talk about Merino. Obviously, it took a long time. Didn't announce into the final week of the window. Are you excited to see him? Because obviously we haven't seen him yet.
I mean, I think it's all about how he adapts to the Premier League. I'm sure he'll be all right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought watching the Euros and watching him, so I thought, wow, he was, he's a really good player. But you know what he brings as well with his age, his experience.
Yeah.
And and I think the fact that I cannot really say we've got a very young squad now, because if you think about it, we've got a few players who are past 26, 25, 26.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to have that type of experience in the midfield. So I'm happy with the signing, and I think he'll be a success for us.
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll just make that left hand side just that little bit more structured than it hasn't been lately. Because when Havertz, and I love him to bits, so I'm not having a pop at Havertz, but when he drops into that left centre midfielder, it scares me.
Me too.
So Mourinho does that. That's his job. Obviously, at Sociedad, he had Zubimendi that was behind him. So it's his role. He knows what he's doing. I know he didn't have a very good time at Newcastle when he was here before, but he's matured. He's got better and better over the years. I think we'll see a very good one. And I don't. He's definitely not a long-term project. He's 28 now, so he's not a long-term player that we're going to have for 10 years. Maximum 3 years. I think he's on a 4-year deal with an option for 1. I guarantee at the end of those 4 years, I'm pretty sure he'll probably go back to Spain or something. So it's not a long-term thing. And we'll start looking obviously for Neto, not Neto, because I can't see Neto in the chat, for party replacements soon anyway. So our midfield's not finished yet, so that's good. Big up to Munzi, big up lads. Could be worse.
Hey, Munzi.
It's a fan. Very true. Very true. I'll quickly cover this. What will come of City's 115 charges? We'll know by around February, March time next year. The court case starts very soon. That's all I can say right now, Tim. But yeah, we'll find out early next year about that. And we'll finally finish off with the one and only Raheem Sterling. Now, one, it's a loan. It's a flat loan. No obligation to buy, no option to buy, blah, 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 blah. But also, and this is confirmed, £162,000 is being paid. So it's a big drop from the 325 that he was being paid at Chelsea. So that's good. What are you making of it? Because I'm fine with it, to be honest. I think it makes sense in my head.
I'm happy with it. And I feel that he's going to be... I know. She's forgotten her keys.
Oh, that's right. It's just this comment by Munzi about about the Arsenal shirt. Did I spill spaghetti down my top? No, this is the Arsenal training kit. This is a very nice training kit. It's not my spaghetti down my top. You are kit.
It's Raheem Sterling. I'll tell you, I'm happy with the signing because he's Premier
I mean, look, he's a 4-time Premier League winner. I mean, he gives
Not bad,
you
is
that.
it? Mm.
No, I mean, for 29 years old, gives you that experience.
Yeah.
I know everyone's saying that it's more or less like he's Saka's understudy,
Yeah.
but for me, he could. But for me, he could also play on the left.
You know where else he can play, mate?
Oh yeah, false nine.
Yeah, he's done it before. I've said this. I said it on when I was doing the Liverpool game, I think. I said we could have him as the number 9 and have Havertz behind. It reminds me of Bergkamp and Wright.
Yeah.
Because I got a feeling that could work,
I think so.
But no, it'd be quite a good one. But look, I know Munsey's saying he wants to bet United. The rest of his wages being paid by Chelsea. Yeah, they are. So I think it's seriously a great signing, and it makes sense. We're not stuck with him. This is a 1-season thing, and then hopefully next summer we get the number 1 target we wanted, and obviously something else. But yeah, it's an interesting. Knew you would like Buzzy. You are a git. I do love you, mate, but you are a git. I assume a packet of gobstops will come off cities. They'll get punished in some way. I don't know. Obviously, no one knows really. Journalists can guess, but no one knows. It's actual proper court case. So until that court case is done, no one knows. Don't talk about Liverpool. Liverpool's a very lovely city. The home of the Beatles, Cedar Black.
It's got the Slavery Museum there. That was great down by the dockside. I loved it there. Yeah, no, it's really nice there, and they got Jurgen's as well. Jurgen's pub. They'll probably name it Slots now anyway. But we'll see.
I think there's something fishy about Osimhen's situation from being linked with Arsenal and Chelsea to Galatasaray. Doesn't make sense. What I would say is be careful who your agent is. That agent for Osimhen has not acted in the best situation for Victor, in my opinion. He's done it for himself. And at the end of the day, the market closed for the big European clubs, but it was still open for some. Napoli did not want to play him at all, whatsoever. So that means, X amount of months until January, he would not be playing football. So at the end of the day, now they've been forced to go somewhere. And you either go to Saudi Arabia, which Victor did not want to go to Saudi Arabia. He wanted to stay in Europe. He's getting to stay at Europe. Galatasaray, I guarantee, I'd put money on him scoring at least, 15 goals in the 4 months that he's there. He will rip that apart.
Yeah.
And I put money on Galatasaray winning the league as well. Because honestly, that is a great signing for him.
I agree.
You are old, Muns. We're all old on here, mate. We're all old. It's a shite hole. Sterling is 50-50 for me. If you get the bad egg of Chelsea, then bad signing. But he's been at City. Yeah, exactly. I think Arteta will know how to handle him. And look, I said this. I know you weren't with me because obviously you were at the game, mate. But I said it yesterday. Raheem is not a bad egg. I don't know where that comes from, but he's not a bad egg. I would say Rashford is worse than Raheem is when it comes to bad eggs. Raheem is just... he had a little bit of a problem a couple of years ago, but it was more to do with something else that was happening in the social media world. Had people who attacked him for all sorts of different reasons, tattoos and God knows what else. It does get to you as a player, and I do get it. And fans need to understand: you continuously attack a player, you're going to affect their mental health. At the end of the day, they're all humans. Liverpool fans are local too. I heard Osimhen agent bought the United shirt. No, I liked it. Your Rashford is far worse. Ego on him is unbearable. Giving off his school meals. He did a very good thing, but he kind of got away with a lot of stuff, if I'm honest, because of that situation. Right, rating, mate. What are you going to rate our window? Because that is all our players in. What would you rate? Because I know my rating, but I want to hear yours first. Out of 10, what would you rate it?
What did I? I gave a rating the other day, and I must be going senile because I'm sure I rated 6 or 7. I think I gave a 6.
Yeah.
I gave it a 6. I mean, well, because that striker was missing, and I always say it's like if you're I mean, there are managers in the past, and you see, for me, when I talk managers, right, I don't use that. I don't use that. Talk about City, talk about Liverpool. I don't care about what they do. I really don't. When people bring that up, to protect Edu, protect Arteta, whatever, when we've not made the signings that we should have made or whatever. I'm not into that. It don't wash with me. I'm sorry. So when I use comparisons, I always like the comparisons I use is past Arsenal managers. I'm only concerned about what we do at the club.
Yeah,
over time.
I'm the same. Yeah,
and you know what I mean. And it's like whenever we'd if we'd sold a player, we'd get another player in that same position. Yeah. And in recent years, even under Wenger, that it just doesn't seem to have happened. Where we always seem to, when we release players on a free, or if we sell players, say for example, that's 7 gone, then we're only getting 4 in. If I see 7 gone, I want to see 7 in.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. And the fact that we didn't get a striker, I really felt that, because I feel that yes, we are unbeaten this season so far. Yeah, I mean we have to get on with it with the Brighton draw, but I just felt that if we had got that, say like an Isaac or somebody. I mean, look at how I always look and see how we play football, right? And how we played second half of the season. Yeah, apart from that Villa defeat, I thought we were immense. And when you add to that, players, no disrespect, but other clubs, even though like Isak has been scoring goals in Newcastle, I've always said he would have been fantastic. This one, Osimhen as well. I mean, I know we had our doubts about him, but when I look at it, I thought for a new lease of life, for the talent that he has, it wouldn't surprise me if he'd score 30 goals in all competitions if we did get him. So, and I think really deep down, if Arteta was to come out and say, well, no, couldn't get this striker because of such and such and such and such and such and such, or we wanted to buy him, but we didn't have the money for it, or we couldn't get to see it a long time, then fair enough. Be honest, like Emery did a few years ago when he said there was no money. You know what I mean? So so it's the striker thing.
No, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you.
So 6.
No, I'm with you. I literally said 6 myself. I was at the time very angry when I said 6 first time, but when I thought about it, I was like, no, I'm not. I can't change my mind. We haven't done enough. Yes, I'm happy we've actually sold some players this summer. But
that's another reason for my 6 as well.
Yeah. We had the opportunities, and for whatever reason, Arteta has chosen not to go with them. We could have got extra players in. No, it doesn't really matter if you don't get your number 1 targets. I don't really care about that. Get the players that we need. Because I got a horrible feeling Jesus will get another injury. That leaves Havertz as our only striker. Now, Havertz, bless him, brilliant. You're telling me he won't get an injury? Can you put money on that? Because I guarantee you can't. Trossard isn't happy. We all know this. There was obviously talk earlier today.
It showed on the pitch on Saturday. You could see it.
Yeah, he's not happy. So that's another player that we've upset, and you can see why. So we've got a problem there. That problem might be dealt with in January, if I'm honest. We'll see what happens. But because I have no issue. The thing is with that, I have no issues because Trossard can play the number 9. But guess who he never puts there? It's Trossard. He never puts him at the number 9.
Yeah.
Why not? Because he can do it. We've seen him do it at Brighton. he's one of the best finishers we've got as well. To be fair,
Yeah,
it's just
right. And also, God. I mean, when I look at Isak now, I always think that regardless of how much it's going to cost, wages and that, why not try and get him in the January window where he's also gonna be free for Europe as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Newcastle not in Europe, so yeah.
Yeah, right. Let's look at this. Leave Rashford out of it. I rate the window 0 out of 10. I know you've done a proper one in a minute, mate. Chris is rated at 6 out of 10. Thank you, mate. I gave Liverpool 4 out of 10. Signing Mama Dude for next season, car boot sale signing wasn't the plan. Like asking for omelette but getting scrambled egg instead. Do you know our targets for 2025 transfer window besides Isak? Not yet. I know a couple of them. One is a midfielder, one is a forward, but there could be some others that might be leaving. We don't know yet at the moment. There is a possibility that a defender might leave that we're not really that keen on leaving, and we need to see how keen that person is on leaving, because we're not going to be able to hold him back from going there. That's for certain. They are way too more powerful than us. If someone comes, there's always a time in anyone's player's career, if a certain team comes knocking for you, you're going to be going, oh, see you later. I'm packing my bags. Because not everyone is. I think Saka is the only person I would think would actually go, you know what? I'm too keen. If everything's going well at Arsenal, he's going to be very hard to get away from us if everything's going well. But obviously, at some point, he's going to want to win trophies. Terry seriously is going 7 out of 10 for outgoing, 6 for 10 for incomings overalls. You've done that 6.5. You've done that on purpose, Temi. You know how much I hate 6.5s. He's done that on purpose. You sod. We had a great window, but didn't get players out. We have so many players that needed to go, hence why it took us more than one window. Yeah, you were too short on what you wanted this summer, mainly because you couldn't get the players out. So, yeah, spot on with that, Mons. Only forwards I'm convinced for you are Saka, Havertz, and Trossard. Jesus and Martinelli, I'm not sure on. Martinelli, if you give him the free rein, he's a dangerous player. And same with Jesus, to be fair. Yeah. You give him free rein, he's an absolute nightmare. When he first joined us, absolute nightmare. Since then, he's just a bit of a moany sod, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
We all have a problem with our eyes looking at your shirt, Bazza. It's our training kit. I like it. It's different. Mystery German for January. As I said, Mistral Stat, I don't think will ever join us now. I think that deal is dead. I don't see him. I don't know. I know we're quite interested in Max.
Rudy Voller.
Mr. Germany. Rudy, oh, yeah. I would have taken Klinsmann back in the day as well. I love Klinsmann.
Yeah.
Hopefully that shite leaves on a free transfer. Oh, you want my shirt? You git. I love you too, Mons. Brenny, thank you ever so much for joining me, mate.
You're welcome. Oh, yeah. You can find me on X, and also I've just got onto Instagram Threads. So I'm going to be trying to do some stuff as well over the weekend. I know it's international break, but I just want to try and do a few things, even though it'd probably be only like two-second videos. But anything Arsenal, I'm going to get it on the Threads.
Brilliant stuff. Cheers, mate. We will be back at some point next week. Obviously, North London Derby previews will be coming up, so we will be doing that at some point. Bobby's shirt looks like a one-year-old drawing. I don't know who designed it. It was some designer, wasn't it, Bren, that designed this shirt? I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but
I like it. It's different.
Yeah,
I like different stuff. But, take care, lads. Great stream, especially Jay.
Thanks, Chris.
Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody that's watched. Thank you very much. You'll see me at some point next week. I don't know if I'll be back at the weekend. I might be back on Saturday to do a 3:00 kickoff, but that might be it because obviously it's international. And I am nowhere touching that England-Ireland game. No, not happening. No, just not happening. Guys, I will speak to you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.